Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another episode of our Salem by Night Chronicle. I am the Ravenous Archon. My name is Will, and I'll be your storyteller this evening. Last we left off with our Anarchs. We picked up right where we left off with Erickson dealing with his stigmata, as it has become that kind of evening for them. And so while he was bleeding out of his eyes, out of his ears, out of his hands and feet, and the small little slits where a crown of thorns would have been, he went out, found himself some food, a little Happy Meal, which he left in a dumpster somewhere. And meanwhile, Andreas was left with Willow and Thomas, who was a little shaken, to say the least, having seen a proverbial Jesus moment in the basement that they just saw some creature expel itself out of what was Andrew Givens. But they ended up leaving. Willow took the floppy head of Andrew Givens as a kind of symbol of his defeat and destruction. And after a bit, some of the basement caught fire. And as they pulled whatever they could, they took some of the books that Andrew Givens had kind of collected over the years. And as they were leaving, they found a false floor on the landing of the stairway leading down to the basement, where they saw a very intricate gold inlaid and silver kind of adorned chest that looked to be of Asian craftsmanship. Something long forgotten and completely alien to Salem, Oregon. And of course, like good player characters, they took this box right back to their haven, where they decided to play with the locking mechanism and release an ancient, imprisoned Get of Fenris Arun werewolf into the world, which is in no way, shape, or form going to come back and bite them in the ass, pun intended. They made some phone calls, tried to figure out what was going on, and they ended up calling the Lucky Dime Diner looking for Sheriff Green. They were told that there wasn't anyone by that name there, and they were asked if they meant Harvey, at which point they got passed over to Sheriff Green, who mentioned, who was given the information about Andrew Givens, and then they were trying to set up a meetup for the next evening. They gave chase to this werewolf after releasing it. Andreas discovered some of the symbols on the case inside, and on the bottom kind of reminded him of a group that he had dealt with in World War II. He had heard the name Schwartz as being German for black, and how there might have been a Nazi group of werewolves that were helping to fight in the war, the Fenrirgruppen, as they were labeled. But as soon as the werewolf touched the river or got near the river, he vanished, leaving them to hear the howling across the river after a moment, as a chorus of what sounded like a victory cry echoed through the city. We left off with Andreas and Shepard leaving with the box in tow, and Erickson going to sleep in the bar's panic room. We're going to pick up the next evening with the two of you. Good to see you boys, as always.
Hello, hello.
Greetings.
We open with, I think, Erickson, you have more humanity than Andreas, which is saying a lot.
Yeah,
I got
actually
like
do.
yeah. I'm only on I got 5.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
just by
Yeah,
one.
but yeah, it's just by one. Don't
So
get it twisted.
You're gonna wake
Okay.
up first. So go ahead and give me your rouse check. Let's get the dice roll right out of the
That's
way.
2.
Okay, so your hunger goes up by 1. Are you back at 4, so you're bleeding all over the place, or are
I'm
you
at 3.
okay? So you're not dangerous, but you are hungrier. Excuse me. The beast inside you starts to gnaw at its cage as you start to waken. Your eyes flutter. You can feel that feeling of claustrophobia as this thing just wants to lash out in any way, shape, or form. And all of a sudden, you realize that you're not in the safe room. And that feeling of claustrophobia isn't just the beast, but it's actually what's happening to you right now. As it looks like you're in the trunk of a car.
Excuse me? Alright. I'm in the trunk of a car.
It's not moving. You don't hear it moving, but you do hear voices outside.
Can I make out... Do they sound familiar, or can I make out if they're speaking English?
They are speaking English. It's a little bit muffled. You hear what sounds like 3 different voices. You hear what sounds like some kind of water lapping. You can recognize Michelle's voice.
Oof.
That's one of the voices.
Okay, so Mitch from the bar, I can recognize her voice.
Mhm.
Okay. I can't make out anything that Mitch is saying.
It's a little rough. There's the lapping, the other voices. There's a sudden burst of laughter.
Okay.
And then you recognize that as being August's laughter.
August?
Mm-hmm. He's the free soul that got turned into a vampire.
Yeah. They got turned, right.
Yep.
Okay. If that's the case, does this trunk have a latch in the inside?
It does not.
Okay.
Looking around though, it looks like one of the seats can be popped forward so you can crawl out.
I'll do that.
Okay.
I'll do that, and I don't want to step out of the car just yet. I want to look up to see if there's anybody besides them two.
It looks like it's 2 of them. It looks like it's Shepard, but Shepard's not with them. He's just kind of off to the side taking care of the truck and the kind of U-Haul rear that he transports.
Okay. I want to be able to step out of the car
Mm.
and sit on the back, on top of the car, on top of the trunk without being noticed. I want to be able to do that.
Ooh. Make a dexterity and stealth check then. That's
Which is probably not my best suit,
and
but I will find
and it's dangerous given how much hunger you're at.
so. Okay. Whoa. All right. So that's a whole 2.
Yep.
Both hunger.
Both hunger.
Oh my god, a 10 and a 9.
Oh,
That was a little too close.
that's a little too close. There's a moment where you see that Michelle is just kind of staring off into the distance. You can see the bare neck as her hoodie's kind of fallen a little bit further back than it normally would be, hanging off of her shoulders. It looks like she's wearing some kind of sleeveless shirt underneath. The neck has been ripped off. August is trying to get a laugh out of her. It looks like he is very much trying to lighten the mood. Shepard is looking like he's taking care of some stuff, so he doesn't even pay attention to you whatsoever. you manage to crawl out, quietly slide onto the trunk of the car.
Okay. And with my hands grasped like so, and with my head just staying on top here. So, why am I in the trunk of this? Why was I in the trunk of this car?
Would this be your car by any chance? Would you have a car?
This would be the whip that Mitch was driving.
Okay, so this
I
is
mean that
Mitch's car?
that Mustang was driving.
Okay.
So when Mustang left, which I haven't even begun to process that yet, but when she left, that car was what we've been using
Okay.
to around.
Okay.
So I would hope that that would be the same car.
So it is a similar car. But they turn around startled. Michelle kind of comes over and it looks like she's checking you over for wounds.
I put my hand up, say, Mitch, what's going on?
She looks over at you and then she points across the river to where you see 3 different tendrils of smoke, just these thick pythons of gray and black smoke over the city. One is relatively close across the river. One is further kind of southeast of you guys towards just past the historic downtown area. And the other one is maybe more southeast, but more south than east. And you can recognize that it's almost around where the Elahe Country Club is.
Okay.
But she points out, she's like, I had some weird, like, raspy voiced woman call, and she said to just get out and to get you out as soon as possible. So the second that August and Shepard came in, I had them help get you out of the storage unit, and just put you in the trunk of your car and get out of there as soon as possible.
Rasp. By any chance, was she short with words and preferred not to speak more than what was needed? Like pretty much, her words were very deliberate
Uh,
and
I don't know if deliberate is the word.
non-conversational.
I don't know if deliberate is the word. She kept asking me who I was, and she asked me where you were, and I told her that I wasn't your fucking mother, so I didn't really care. Because I'm not gonna just tell people that you're sleeping in the fucking safe room of a bar.
Which I appreciate.
Yeah.
What did this raspy woman say exactly?
She said, "Get out, get Erickson out. The second he gets there, make sure he doesn't show up or that he doesn't get to the bar at all."
No, and I get that. What I mean is, what exactly did she say in the beginning of this call that started this argument over the phone?
I mean, she said hello. I said hello. Thank you for calling the last call. How can I help you? And then she said, "Who is this?" And I said, "This is Michelle. Who is this?" And then verbatim, she said, "No, who is this?" And I said, "Like I said, my name is Michelle. Who the fuck is this?"
Okay.
I tried to be
All right.
pleasant. I tried to be pleasant. You know how I am. I
I will venture to say that, given the interaction you had with this woman and what she has provided, the information that she provided to you, uh, I believe this to be a very close friend of mine, uh, that you have yet to meet, which I hope you meet soon,
Oh, good.
if I'm correct. But more importantly, you got out, and where exactly are we?
West Salem, we'll cross the river.
And that smoke?
One of those is the bar. Um, that one over there, she points to the middle one, the one that's not that far away. I think that's the diner, the Lucky Dime, and that one down there in the south, that one's a restaurant that's owned by Garter.
And wait, so you got out. Did you see what happened? Was this a bomb? Was this a sweeper team? Like, I don't. You weren't there. We've had experience with groups trying to come in and destroy the place. Was there any witnesses? Anybody able to see anything?
Uh, August and some of the other free souls stuck around. And at this point, August kind of steps up. I saw 3 SWAT vans pull up. I didn't even know the city had that many SWAT vans.
Yeah.
But they pulled up, they kicked down the door, and they just rifled through everything. It's weird though, because I didn't see any of them sporting any of the SPD writing. They didn't have anything denoting whether they were Salem Police or Sheriff's Department. Just
Now,
kind of
August. Now, August. You've never had a conversation with Eric about what we've had previously at that bar and what happened to it before I spruced it up?
with Andreas.
With Andreas, yeah.
No. I know that we have taken over the business that used to be there, which is gun running and smuggling. But I'm not privy to what happened before. No.
And just quick, Will. I know that I know August is he is kind right now. Been turned.
He has been embraced.
Yeah,
He counts as Catif. He has no clan.
he has no clan.
No one has stepped up to announce that
Right.
they are his sire.
I remember. So I just want to let you know that this group, most likely, if it's anybody that myself or Andres has dealt with, uh, they are not police. At
Hmm.
least they're not showing themselves as police. They are more of the supernatural type of hunt. Catch my drift.
Oh,
Yeah.
that.
And I think that from what you're telling me is since my establishment and the diner were hit, who are also run and owned by our kind, that leads me to believe that this is a hit specifically on our kind. So, was there anything? And I look back at Mitch. I go, was there anything that you saw during the day? You see any news, any notes, anything out of the ordinary since this has all happened, or was this something that just happened?
It to me it just happened because I got that phone call right after I was about to open up. Like I just finished counting the register. Uh, and I got the phone call and I immediately got August to help. I got Shepard to help. We moved you. Took some of the important business stuff that I could. But during the day, there was nothing weird. Like, I spent most of the day making sure that we had stuff from Restaurant Depot and making sure that we had the liquor for the evening because we do got this big party coming up. We had this big party coming up this Saturday.
Okay. Well, where is Andreas now?
They both point at the U-Haul, at the little trailer.
I immediately go to the U-Haul and I slide it open, see what's inside. Obviously, I would see the motorcycle and
Yeah,
something else.
the ramp is down. You can see the 2 motorcycles. In between them, you see the chest, the Asian inspired chest that you had from Andrew Given's place. And you see Shepard kind of look up at you from working on his bike. He ain't up yet, but he should be up in a few minutes, give or take. He's a
I
late
start looking
sleeper.
around. I look around to see. We're on West Salem Park area, or is this an open field?
It is a kind of park. It overlooks the river. You're parked in a parking lot that just kind of has your car, the truck, and the trailer. And there's one more car that's parked, but it doesn't look like anybody's in there.
Is there a phone booth, telephone, anything nearby, anything that I could call in?
He gets up, he gets out of the trailer, and he kind of points towards what looks like a gazebo. Just past like a hill. And he's like, over there is the visitor center. There should be a phone right outside of it.
I nod, and I skate all the way over there, wanting to slow my pace down to see if there's anybody around this visitor center, since it's still, because it just became nightfall, right?
It's like an hour after nightfall.
Okay, so an hour after night.
Yeah.
So if we're doing this at this time, there's no no daylight savings time, so this would be already around 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock already at
Yeah,
that point.
it's almost 8:20.
Okay. Is there still people? Is there anybody in the visitor center?
There's a couple people that are washing up. There's a little boy that looks to be about maybe 12. There's a young girl who looks to be about 17, 16, around there. In the distance, you can see what looks to be a mixed group of children from the high end of middle school to the low end of high school.
Okay. So it's just children hanging out there in the visitor center.
Yeah, and there's an adult that's kind of a few feet away and keeping an eye on everybody. He kind of nods at you. Looks like he's got a kind of simple dress shirt with the sleeves rolled up. His tie is undone. The top button of his shirt is undone. He's got a simple belt, jeans, and boots. Clean cut, kind of tousled hair. Doesn't look dangerous in any way, shape, or form.
But it's just mostly children and this one guy.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, and you can see there looks to be another adult over by the bus that they brought, but yeah, that's another 100 feet away.
No worries. I'm gonna go to the phone.
Okay.
And
there is a dial tone. It works.
Good to know. This is not a payphone. This is actual phone inside the visitor center.
No, this is a payphone.
Oh, it's a payphone.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and call Mickey Blue.
Okay. A few rings. You hear a voice pick up. Hey, what's up? What can I do for you?
This is Erickson. Looking for Mickey Blue.
Oh, yep. Just a sec. You hear the phone just being dropped onto a desk. And then you hear in the distance, yo, what are you doing, man? You can't just drop the phone like that. You gotta be respectful. You don't know who's calling. And then you hear the voice get louder as it comes closer and picks up. Yeah, what's going on?
Mickey, this is Kenny. I mean, Kenny. Wow. Mickey, this is Erickson.
Those edibles.
Yeah, those edibles.
Oh,
that I may or may not have taken.
Yeah. You were in a place that allowed it. It's fine. But you hear the voice. Oh yeah, what's up, boss? How can I help you?
Okay. I know this just happened, but I need you.
You know, I was calling you yesterday.
Really? What about?
You had asked about the Vagabond and its owner.
What about it?
So I found out it's owned by a Marcus Bradley. Recently put that there's a secondary owner on the lease, at least. Lillian Buchanan.
Lillian Buchanan.
Um,
That name does not ring a bell to me.
No. The paperwork that we found said that he's owned the bar for at least 4 years. It kind of tracks. Okay. I think before that it was something else. But there's no paperwork on what it was before.
All right, Marcus Bradley.
Yeah. Is that what you were calling about, or?
No, actually, I wanted you to find out something for me, and I need you. Honestly, at this point, money is not a price, Mickey. You know how I am, and if you're right with me, I get right with you. So
Yeah, of course.
I need you to find out. My place was just hit. It was a SWAT team, or at least it was a SWAT team truck that I know for a fact that Salem does not have. This was run uh by trained people. These are trained, what seems like trained soldiers in full battalion, uh, as though they were a sweeper team. Not only taking out my place, and you'll probably hear this soon on the news. Not only my place, but also the the diner that is also in Salem. Uh, boy, I'm trying to remember the name of the diner now.
So you talking about the Lucky Dime? Because
The Lucky Dime.
the news just said that they had a gas main explosion.
Oh well, the fact that I'm bringing this up to you, Mickey, tell this might not be on the up and up what you hear on the news. So it, I don't care how low you gotta go, find some information. You gotta get dirty. I understand completely. You just let me know. This has got to be somebody that put in this job here in Salem. Whether these people were outside of the city, that remains to be seen. But the fact that they've hit my place and the Lucky Diner is not a coincidence. So I need you to find as much information as you can about this, and I will call you back by before the end of today to see if you have, before daybreak to see if you have any.
All right, I'll put all hands on deck then.
I appreciate it. Thank you, Mickey.
Yeah, and he hangs up.
All right. I hang up. And, I'm just a little frustrated because I can't eat anybody right now. 'Cause I'm looking at these children. I'm like, no, no.
It's easy pickings.
Yeah, easy pickings when. Yeah, okay. And then you said there's somebody by a bus.
Yep.
Is that so? I go out to see the bus. And this bus is.
It's a long school bus. It's got a couple of kids that are inside. You can see them just moving around.
With the bus driver inside.
No, it looks like the adult that's outside, the woman that's outside is the bus driver.
Oh, so she's just standing outside.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. This park. Oh man. I am hungry.
Yeah.
This park, where the bus is at. How close is this to? Is there any trees? Any? Is it by the by an overgrowth? Like, obviously, this is a clearing for where the visitor center is. Is this next to any woods or anything like that?
The visitor center and the gazebo are kind of in a clearing. The closest overgrowth or kind of secluded area would be about 300 to 400 feet away. The bus is taking up most of the visitor center's parking lot. It looks like there's one other car there. The visitor center does have lights on, so there might be somebody inside. The gazebo has no electricity going to it, so it just kind of sits there like a haunted piece of lumber in the landscape. And beyond it, you can see that there are 4 bodies by the river now instead of 3. So you can surmise that Andreas has woken up.
Okay. Oh, if that's the case, then I'm going back. If he's already awake, then I'm going back to where everybody is. Then
Yeah.
I'll eat another time.
If Andreas could give me his rouse check to wake up that day, let's see what that puts you at.
6.
Oh, no hunger increase.
Ah. I'm an intermittent fasting vampire.
Yeah, you get to live tonight without, well, so far without the.
Yeah. Yeah. No. Let's go by track record.
Yeah, it's coming. But yeah, Shepard has brought you up to speed. The last call was attacked. The diner, the Lucky Dime Diner, which is Sheriff Green's spot, was attacked. And there was a restaurant that was owned by a W.I. Garter in the city that was also attacked. The news has reported the diner and the restaurant as suffering from a fatal gas leak that is going to be investigated. The diner, the bar, has yet to be recorded on the news. It is the latest attack that has happened.
So the bar was actually the last place to get hit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, these guys are. We're dealing with a very well-funded group. If they already have cover stories for 2 of the places, and I bet my eye teeth by the end of the night they're going to have something for ours, or the bar. Well, my character, does he know anything about the Second Inquisition?
Let's see. You could try an intelligence and investigation check. You could try an intelligence and streetwise.
Try intelligence and streetwise,
Okay.
because it's just mainly focusing on like things I would have dealt with over the years, not just as a smuggler, but once I was in Canite society, if there was just previous experience or something I had dealing with.
Gotcha.
Okay, so hunger's at 1. Okay, a 10, a 5, a 1, and a 2.
Okay. The Second Inquisition has not gotten to you yet.
Okay.
You have heard that some humans have been emboldened within the last kind of decade, especially after the Beckoning happened in 1980. Too many things seem to fall into place for the wrong people, and some of humanity has become emboldened, but there, as far as like organizations are concerned, nothing has really reached your ears.
Okay. So all I know is that this looks like a well-funded group. If they can actually get propaganda into whatever local news, that sort of thing, this is,
Oh
yeah.
yeah,
I mean, obviously, definitely deep in human society, good funding,
yeah.
and very clearly targeting us. Because I mean, hitting the 3 of us all in one day, and nobody saw like, well, for instance, a giant furry beast would be like the worst of my problems right now. Thinking one of the something we had just done to actually unleash this attack, but
Yeah. One of the things that does kind of tickle you the wrong way is the fact that Shepard tells you that you did have to cross the river just to get to safety. So you currently are in West Salem.
what family is in where we saw the werewolves disappear to?
Yep.
Alrighty then.
You're not deep in West Salem. You're still by the Willamette River.
Yeah, no, we're by the river. That's fine for right now.
Yeah.
Definitely, yeah, we definitely don't want to go deeper into the woods, and hmm, yeah, we may want to move the van further. We may want to move the U-Haul and the van further into the city, or at least get the chest moving for tonight. Were we sleeping here all day for when we got pulled for the attack? Like, did they bring Erickson over to where I was already
Uh,
camped?
Shepard kind of looks up at you, and he sees that Erickson is walking over here. And kind of points to him. He's like, you could ask him yourself if you wanted to, but I remember we got to the last call just as the sun was setting. That girl of his, Michelle, she asked us for help. Said somebody called, tried to warn them that we were something terrible was happening, and make sure that Erickson wasn't at the bar or didn't come into the bar tonight. So I got Augie there to help out, and we put him in his trunk, and we helped to get out of there. I left some of the
Okay.
boys behind just to keep an eye on.
Shepard, how long have we been at this location?
Oh, we've been here for maybe a couple hours.
Okay. I'm having my little paranoid flashes for now. Yeah. How long have the groups of kids and what the hell not? How long have they been here?
They were here before we got here, so I can only assume that they've been here the day.
That's not just that's what I want to hear because some honestly the kids here after dark is a little weird, but weird to me. It's just something to stick out. So
Yeah, yeah. I don't know.
all
It's getting close to Halloween, so I don't question it anymore.
right. Favorite holiday. All right. Let's see what we're gonna find out.
Yeah,
So I'm already getting there. I'm already in front of him.
yeah. Oh yeah, you show up.
Okay. Uh,
My
glad
condolences on your bar.
glad you woke up, Andreas. So, uh, you obviously know where we're at right now and where we shouldn't be. Um, I don't know. We haven't been able to tell anybody. I think you haven't been able to tell anybody on your end that we should not be in West Salem at the moment.
Yeah, probably not. Well, I mean, look, the free souls. Nothing I'm gonna tell them is gonna stop them from going anywhere. As for some of the other canines, well, to be honest with you, I'm not entirely sure I care which vampires get hit at first. Sometimes just have to let. Sometimes you have to let a little chaos happen, and then we'll see where the chips fall. On the upside, you're alive. Your bar is not, but you made it out of there.
Uh, I look back at Mitch. Uh, Mitch, you know we were running over there. Do we have anything? Was there any weapon salvaged at all before you left?
Yeah. I got. Thankfully, August and Shepard were there, so they managed to make some phone calls. I think we got some of the small ordnance out. Maybe a case or two of the shotguns. Maybe a case of the assault rifles. I didn't stick around to kind of keep an eye and direct traffic. I needed to get you out of there.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah.
So, uh, Andreas, what this is first, first, an ancient werewolf has been set loose. Now, pretty much our places are being targeted. So I don't know if these are connected, but it very well could be.
Uh,
Uh,
Here's the thing. I don't think the attacks here are connected with what's going on with that werewolf. All right, three places got hit during the day. Could possibly be. No one saw some giant beasts. No one saw anything like that going on. Number two, they're already telling me that there's been cover stories released on the news for gas main explosions, and they're already said it. You don't set up circumstances for doing this sort of thing if you're a werewolf. Werewolves don't give a flying fuck what happens to humans outside of what's in their territory out in the woods. So, and honestly, I don't. I mean, no, my characters know that. Yeah, no,
uh,
I'm kind of sputtering off. I'm kind of sputtering off with that. I'm like the werewolves. This is an attack out of the wilderness. I mean, if that thing's ancient, it probably doesn't even know what a telephone is.
so our next course of action then is we
Well,
have to figure out who keeps. I don't know. This is I just don't like the fact that I keep getting targeted and I still have yet to figure out who the fuck is doing this because the person that I thought could get us closer to this apparently died in my arms, quite literally.
Well, as for staying alive, this is where my specialty comes in. Don't worry, this is why we stay mobile, because if your enemy doesn't know where to attack you, they can't. Which is why we will be moving the Haven again tonight, Shepard.
He nods.
I look back at Mitch and I say, did the raspy woman, who we're going to refer to right now as Mustang, did she
Like
say
like the
where she's calling
car?
from? Yes, like the car. That
Okay.
exactly.
No, she did not leave a calling address or a calling card of any kind. She just gave her message, was somewhat upset, I guess, about me existing in the world, and then I hung up on her.
Somebody's
Okay.
jealous.
Well, maybe if Mustang actually came back with me, this probably wouldn't be happening. She would know who you are, and this wouldn't be a problem.
She didn't have
Um,
to place the phone call that left you alive, so
yeah. No, no, I'm not mad at. My anger is not towards her. This is a little bit of anger towards me and anger towards whoever the hell thought that it was a good idea to hit uh my establishment
Mhm.
second time. Think that I wasn't gonna find them. Um, you know what? I'm going back. I want to go back to. I know this sounds crazy, but I want to go back to the bar. I need to something, anything that could point me in the direction.
All right.
all right. Well, if you want, you can take an alternate mode of transportation. If they know to be looking, maybe if they know to look for your car, you might want to take one of our bikes.
How to ride a bike?
Oh, that's actually
Drive.
true. What does he? Yeah. Would you know how?
Huh? I mean, I mean, Erickson was a Renaissance man of many tools, but riding a bike, you know, streaming down the street on a hog was probably not one of them.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Well, then, yeah, you can just take your car then.
Yeah, I'll take this vehicle, the one that is. I imagine this is yours, Mitch.
She nods.
All right.
Not much, but
I motion for the keys.
she tosses them at you.
Go in. Let me. Because if you guys are gonna come with me, totally understand. I just need to find out what's going on here, or find out somebody that can give me some information. Um, where do you want to meet up after all this, or are we
Seeing as
doing
I,
this together?
seeing as I have nothing better to do, I'm probably just going to follow you.
So, I look at Mitch. Do you want me to drop you off home, and I'll drop your car off, or are you coming with us?
Uh, yeah, you can drop me off. I think if you're gonna start to get into some dangerous territory, I would rather not be involved.
I nod. So
We could have one of the
into the.
souls. We could have one of the souls take her home too.
I look back at her for approval.
Yeah, she kind of points over at August. Like, are you alright with that? He nods.
Uh,
Yep.
worst worst case. Worst case, you'll have a new car by tomorrow. You don't have this one.
Like, oh, overtime and a new car. Lucky me.
I saunter over to August for a second. Be like, it's not for feeding, so just make sure she gets home safe.
He nods.
Appreciate it.
But yeah, the two of them go over. They hop on a motorcycle. August takes her off. Shepard starts to pull out his motorcycle from the trailer. He's like, you want me involved, or you got other plans for me?"
No, actually, you're going to follow with me. Erickson, just take your car. We'll be following close behind on the motorcycles.
Shepard nods and starts to pull out your motorcycle as well, and starts to close up the trailer.
Yeah. And armaments-wise, definitely going to need one of my shotguns, just
Okay.
in case. Oh, and the pistol with the silver bullets. That thing is not leaving my side for the foreseeable future.
Okay.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I'm probably going to have to start looking into getting a hold of some silver so we can cast some more bullets later. But worry about that.
I mean, there's some on the chest.
Yeah, no, I mean, no, obviously we're going to be piecemealing that. I'm talking about it, but actually getting them cast. I'm talking about actually getting the bullets cast. That takes time. That's not
Yeah.
just like, hey, I have silver. Now I have silver bullets. So,
Yep.
yeah, I know we have a supply for it, but in the meantime, I have what I think 4 or 5 of the bullets left.
Uh,
Like, I fired off one shot. I think you had 5 with me originally, so I think there's 4
yeah.
left.
Yeah, you have 4.
Okay, I'm gonna shoot that Fender ads.
He's not gonna be able to soak it.
Yeah, I know. I'll be like, go Krynos, go Krynos. I'm taking the sack.
There you go.
If any ammunition that I can refill current guns that I have on me, the
Yeah.
revolver and the revolver and the 45.
There's more
So
than a few hidden compartments in the trailer,
Mhm.
and there's definitely ammunition there. I'm almost of the mind that, given what you've had to deal with, that Shepard also probably has a crossbow.
I
Fuck it,
would
we
say
can-
a Walking Dead joke, but this wasn't way before that.
Yeah.
So but yeah. So as we're driving, I'm gonna drive, but I'm not gonna go directly to last call. I want to go ahead and park a block away,
Mhm.
uh, next to an alleyway.
Yeah, there's fire department. You can see there's a fire truck. They've just put out the fire, so they're kind of in the middle of wrapping up. There's no real police presence,
Mm-hmm.
which is weird because they would have at least one squad car there to keep the peace.
As far as the fire department, do they look like they're part of the fire department, or does this? I want to see if there's anything that's a little bit peculiar, as you brought that up.
Let's have you do an intelligence and politics roll.
Oh, you son of a bitch! Politics.
Yeah,
They
since
don't
you.
care about. There's a reason why they don't care about.
Yeah. I have no dots in politics. I have no idea why.
All right.
So, on the hunger dice is 10, 6, and a 1, and then a 5 on the non-hunger.
Okay. 2 successes garners you that this does look like the fire department. Even the highest ranking member is kind of looking around. There's a quizzical look on his face. It's almost like he's trying to figure out why there's no police presence as well. But he's still kind of doing his work while he ponders. But yeah, they're going about their business how they should be going. Like, they just finished dousing the place. They're cleaning up now.
Um, how bad does the building?
The building itself doesn't look terrible. It looks like it was a controlled explosion. Like, it was meant to just be a message.
Okay. Um, I want to walk around, do a wide berth, and go to the back to see if I'm able to see if the back door is still there.
It is.
Hanging off one hinge.
Hanging off one hand.
I'm talking my ass.
No, that'd be funny if it was.
No. It is it is, remember, you have a sturdy back door. It's still intact. It looks charred, but it's still intact.
Okay. Um, I don't see anything around in the back area. I don't see any. There's no fire department there, right?
There's no fire department. You do see kind of peeking out from underneath a dumpster, a small gray cat.
Oh, you son of a bitch! I knew you were gonna do that. Oh, yeah. I see the cat.
Yep. And then you see two others, the little
Hmm.
tiger-looking one and then the black one.
Oh, I smile. I say, hand down.
Yeah. They come over. They recognize you.
I pick up the tiger-looking one,
Okay.
and I say, "And where is your dad?"
Almost like it understands you, it looks back towards the end of the alley. And for a moment, you see the outline of something massive, like the predator, but then it just vanishes again. Is Andreas with you? Are you there?
Well, that's the thing. I would imagine I imagine at this point, knowing the way that we have been playing, Andreas has already become invisible, and I have no idea where he's at.
The
So
second you turn your back on him, he just goes into obfuscation.
yeah, that's it. He just disappears, and I'm just like, all right, that's a thing that's been happening
Yeah.
all this whole time. So
And then the ass
I
grabbing begins.
yeah,
And in this case, he is very astute because if we're heading into what is technically a crime scene, even though there is a decided lack of police presence, hell yes, I am curious.
Okay. So you're going to be turning on Silence of Death and then going invisible?
Because also, this means if anything does show up to attack us, it'll probably go after him first,
correct.
which is great for me when I'm putting a gun to the back of its head.
Yeah. So go ahead and make your rouse check for Unseen Passage.
Okay. What's the roll for that? Just the single die, or
Just, yeah, the single rouse.
Rouse check. Yeah. 6.
Okay. So, yeah, the second he turns his back on you, you already have that little sinister giggle in the back of your mind, and nobody else is looking at you. So you start to move silently as you take these first steps forward, following him, and then slowly you feel the shadows just very coolly and collectively just kind of start to envelop you, and you're pretty sure that you are invisible.
Humming the Cheshire Cat song to myself.
But yeah, you see that he's kind of. Are you following him, or are you going to try to investigate the bar on your own?
I'll investigate the bar on my own, though.
Okay. So just give me a dex and athletics check to avoid bumping into people who are doing their job, like the firemen that are collecting things and whatnot.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, like one success really. 2, 3, 5, 6, and 5. The 3 was the hunger die.
Okay. Do you want to spend a willpower point to reroll up to 3 non-hunger dice?
Yes, I actually do.
Okay. You'll take a superficial point of willpower damage.
Okay. That was downright embarrassing.
There was.
Okay. 6, 7, and then a 5.
There you go. No one will speak of this. So 3 successes is enough to really avoid any of the firemen as they come and go. And as you step into the bar, you can see that there are tables that have been turned over. The jukebox looks a little crispy, but still has its lights on.
Okay, so yeah, that means it wasn't even damaged enough for the power to be completely shut off.
No, and it doesn't look like this was an explosion that set this on fire. This looks like it was, for all intents and purposes, it looks like a flamethrower was taken to the place. Because there's places that aren't charred, there's places that are charred. Some of the bottles of liquor are missing.
Well, we knew this was humans in the first place. The idea of a flamethrower or some similar project. Oh wait, World War II. I would know flamethrowers.
Yeah.
So anything like that really does indicate someone who at least is aware of our nature.
Yeah.
Fires Fire destroys most things, but I mean, you don't really bring that as a packed on weapon unless you're dealing with K-Knights.
Yeah, you don't really have access to the two safe rooms because the people are moving around still in the building. But you do notice that there's not a lot of the fire that got towards the office itself.
Mm-hmm.
And the office looks like it's been ransacked.
I definitely want to go check that out if I can. Can I get around anyone to get to
Yeah,
towards the office?
yeah. It takes a few minutes for people to move around so you can get a clear kind of dart into the office. But once they do, you shoot in there, and it looks like somebody was looking for something in the office.
Okay. Let me start investigating what drawers are ripped open. Does it look like there's any pattern to what kind of information they're looking for?
They flipped the desk over onto its front, so none of the drawers that they might have looked through.
Yeah, they've all slammed shut again.
They've all slammed shut. Yeah, so you can't get a clear beat on what they were looking for. You just know that all of the paperwork inside is torn asunder. It almost looks like they were really careful not to set anything in here on fire. Like there's fire everywhere outside, up and down the hallway leading to the office, but the office itself was kind of protected.
Okay, so this was definitely a fact finding mission for them. Okay, before Erickson's here, or like while he's on his way here, was there any place I remember him happen to stash anything when we were talking or when we were conversing in the office? Spots where I know to look from having been in the room when he's in here.
Yeah, you know that he has a false panel where he has his shotgun. And there's a couple of other spots where he hides handguns. But as far as like a big thing, there really isn't anything in here that he keeps hidden.
Let me check those spots for his guns, because if whoever ransacked this place didn't even bother finding the guns, maybe they fucked up and didn't find whatever they were looking for anyway.
Yeah, no, all the guns are there.
Okay.
You know that there's a safe in the room.
Yeah, that can wait for him.
That's for daily business. That's for like the actual bar business. That's not for anything. Like, you know that the safe that he has for his stuff and for your stuff, that's in the panic room.
Okay, and obviously we can't get in there yet.
Yeah, there's still people out there.
Nice.
Yeah, the safe in here looks like they tried to get into it. There's scratch marks. There's some heavy duty burning on the side of it. You can still smell some of the napalm that they tried to get in here, but you also notice that even with trying to set the safe on fire, like, they were very protective of the rest of this room.
Okay. All right, so I will come. Let me go creeping back out of there, see what else I can find in this place, and obviously keep an eye out for Erickson while I'm doing it. Because if I see him go creeping into a certain area, I'll go. I'll follow him and let him know I'm there.
As you are invisibly checking the inside of the bar, we go back to the outside, where after a moment you see the horrific visage of Teddy pull himself out of the shadows in front of you. I was worried that you were dead, my friend.
Sir, you know me too well for something as innocuous as a fire to keep me down. And as I'm stroking the...
Yeah. He picks up the little gray one and starts to scratch him behind his ears.
You wouldn't have been able to see what happened here, did you?
Oh, yes. Teddy saw. He was over there, and he kind of points to a different alleyway.
And what exactly did you see, Teddy?
Oh, Teddy saw 3 SWAT vans pull up. But these were not SWAT officers. They smelled different.
Smell. So they didn't smell human.
No, they smelled human. They just smelled different. I have been hunting on some of the policemen that do not smell like them.
Did you happen to get tag on any of these cars?
No. Teddy does not pay attention to English writing.
So you didn't happen to get. How many of them were there?
The rough count, I could say there was maybe 18 of them.
Did it look like they were setting off a bomb, or was this a fire that they started from the inside?
Oh no, two of them have flamethrowers. It's frightening. Kept my distance because of it.
I want to describe to him the outfit in the last Elysium. I want to describe to him the outfit that the sweeper team came in with, the ones with the riot gear and
Yeah.
the ones with the flamethrower, to see if that matches what he says.
Yeah, his face lights up and he's like, "Oh, you saw them too."
Wow, I've dealt with them before, and this has been months apart. Is
Oh,
it months apart? Has it been a
yeah.
month apart
It's
already?
been more
Yeah,
than months.
yeah, it's been
Yeah, the
months apart.
Elysium was in July. You're in October already.
Yeah, so it's been months apart. So, all right, you wouldn't happen to see if there was somebody out of all of them, were they all listening to one another, or were they listening to a specific person?
No, there was one person, red hair. Um, he looked almost dangerous. I could feel that he was someone that Teddy did not want to deal with.
But smell that he's still human.
Yes, yes.
Or redhead.
Hmm.
Slender, tall.
It, he kind of puts the cat down, and you see him reach out with his long, spindly fingers and kind of grab you on either side of your stomach. And he's like, "Yeah, about this size. You have same body, but he have red hair, red beard, scar across right side of face,
Over his eye or over his cheek?
cheek comes down into beard."
Uh, did he sound like he's from here, or did he sound like did he have an accent?
Oh no,
If you were able to hear him.
he sounded accented, like not American. No.
Closer to you?
Yes, across the channel, but yes, definitely from my side of the world, as you would say.
I try to. Was there an insignia, crest, marking that you see on all of them, or at least on this gentleman?
No. Only strange thing is one of them, before going into place, did the sign of the cross to himself.
Sign of the cross.
It's very strange.
Have you seen this before in this area?
Not in this area, no.
Oh, have you seen it by any chance? You've heard about uh something similar to this over in the Lucky Diner. I don't know if you've been by there before.
I have not. I do not venture too far into the city.
All right. Well, Teddy, you've given me so much information. I do appreciate it.
I am. Teddy is just happy that you are not dead.
I am also happy that I'm not dead, Teddy. Uh, you are always welcomed in any place that I call home. So when this place is up and running again, please let me know if you
He,
sanctuary.
he nods and he pats you on the shoulder. Teddy appreciates you letting him feed in your territory. Will
Also, Teddy,
not be forgotten.
before I forget, you've heard these howls in the past day or so?
Oh yes, Lupines is active.
Yeah. Uh, just gonna give you fair warning. They're probably gonna be a lot more active in coming days. So, please keep an eye out for you and for your children.
Yeah, he
Yes.
points up at the sky. He's like, "Yes, moon is getting bigger."
So is it the full moon now?
No, no. Right now, it is about a week and a half from the full moon because the next full moon isn't until November 8th.
Uh, I nod my head towards Teddy, and I wave to the cats,
They all meow at you in chorus.
and I start heading to the back door.
Yep.
See if I can go ahead and just open that up.
Yeah, it's a hard pull because some of the metal has welded. But with your strength and potence, it's not difficult to pop it open. Um, Once you do, you can see that the inside hallway leading up to the back door is charred. There's blackened walls all over. In the distance, you can see that out of the darkness of everything else in the bar, the yellow, red, orange, and gaudiness of the jukebox is the only light in the darkness. And you can see that some of the bodies are casting shadows given by it, but everybody looks to be leaving the bar.
I look around the office to see, obviously, that it's been disheveled and thrown around pretty much.
Yeah,
Um,
you feel a hand on your ass.
were you here just now, or were you with me this whole time?
Just now.
Okay.
Yeah,
No,
Well,
I've been investigating the place, dude. This was really focused, really targeted. They didn't blow this place up.
yeah. You see his
This one.
obfuscation wash away as he starts talking to you.
Mhm.
um, I know what they didn't get,
Oh, good.
and which is the files that I took out, which is probably something that they were looking.
I'm sure. So those are already off property. Fantastic.
Come to think of it, I don't know where they're at right now. That's not good.
Yeah.
And
Well, I mean, we can still give the place another once over real quick. Will, I'm actually idly curious about that jukebox. Is it already set to a selection?
there is no selected track, but it looks like whoever used it last left a quarter in there because there is it is waiting for a selection.
It's waiting for a selection.
Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
getting I'm getting the booby trap paranoia. So
I mean, if you start cycling through the little round booklet of options, you'll notice that there's a lot of soul and Motown, R&B, like classics like Etta James, things that you don't see very often in jukeboxes.
yeah,
But it should also have "When Doves Cry," Purple Rain. So,
well, I wasn't planning on that one in particular, but yeah. No, I was just seeing if anyone had
no, I'm just saying because that's one of the only 1984 hits that I can think of in my head at the moment.
So many of them.
I know it's the only one that comes.
he went straight to the important one. That's
Yeah,
fine.
that's fine. They all come down from there anyway. But yeah, the wall behind the jukebox, is where the safe room is.
Yeah.
The other safe room also looks like it hasn't been touched. So once you walk by it, you can pop that open. The cots are still there. The crates of whatever weapons you had stored in there are still there. So that one wasn't touched. The safe room, once you see that the fire truck is pulling away, you walk in and you see that there is your safe there, and sitting on top of the safe are the file folders that you were looking at.
The file folders that I was looking at.
Yeah. The ones that had the information about Mustang's people.
Okay, so they didn't take that.
No.
The safe, was it already broken open?
No. They didn't get into the safe room.
Okay. They didn't get into the safe room.
Nope.
What about the basement?
The basement does look like it was ransacked.
Does it look like things were just thrown around, or did they actually take something?
They took anything of worth, any rifling, any assault rifles, any heavy stuff.
I look over at Andreas and I say, well, I met our big boy Teddy outside just now, and
The big ugly guy with the cats. How's he doing?
oh, he's alive and happy that we're alive too.
Fantastic.
He also found out that he can corroborate some of the information that it was SWAT trucks came in, about 18 off the top of his head that he saw people. They were all led, or at least they were taking orders from someone who described him as having red hair, red beard, an actual cut or a scar over his face, side of his face leading down into his beard, with an accent. He doesn't know what kind.
Okay.
Interestingly enough, yeah,
No, keep talking.
and interestingly enough, he was able to see that at least one of them did the, and I, as I do this, I cringe before finishing it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, yeah, he was blessing or asking for blessing. So, um, I think that this is not anybody from the military, or from any military that we know, nor from the police. So I
Definitely
got,
not.
yeah. So I got to figure out, because because Mike, out of everything that's been going on, and I know that this group has been happening, like there's been rumblings of this group before, but I have no idea that this group even exists, other than the fact that they've attacked me.
Correct.
Yeah. So on more than one occasion, that's it. I just know that they've attacked me on more than one occasion.
Yeah.
So
And as you two are discussing things, you hear the floorboards creak, and you see a young woman step in, kind of crouching under the police wire that they left behind, a police tape. You recognize her as Leslie.
I recognize her, or Erickson recognizes her?
Both of you recognize her as Leslie.
Leslie.
Leslie Thatcher. She's one of the court's harpies.
Right.
Leslie, and I look over and I say, Leslie, like like the angel of death, you appear at just the precise time. Uh, how are you tonight?
She smiles and she kind of waves her hand. Hey, hi. Tulip asked me to check in on you, and then she kind of stops and looks back out the door. After a moment, she turns back to you.
Hold a sec, because he's done this.
Are you all right?
Yeah, I'm all right. I've been wanting to ask you, Leslie, what is it that you're looking for? As because I see you stare off behind you, More than one since the last time you spoke to me.
What? What do you mean?
I want to know if she like. I have a feeling that she's trying to do something.
I mean, you could try to roll a wits and insight.
That sounds like that's what I want to. That sounds like
I mean, it sounds like that's what you want to do.
what's an insight.
Yeah.
6. All right, I'll try to figure it out. Uh, 3 on the 3.
3 hunger dice.
You know, still haven't fed yet.
Yep. Bold move, Cotton. Let's see how it plays out.
Yep. 6, 6, 6, 7, 5, and a 1.
Okay. It doesn't look to you like she's trying to find something particular. It's almost like if she's just getting lost in thoughts.
That she's just getting lost in thoughts, but she just so happens to keep turning around and looking behind her while doing that.
But yeah, she's just kind of like, after she comes back from wherever she goes, she just looks over. She's like, "Are you all right? Are you two okay? Sheriff Green asked me to check in on you."
Where is Sheriff Green now?
He's in Hayesville. He's trying to keep a low profile, so it's only need to know. And then she kind of looks down.
And where are you?
I need to know.
And where are you and Tulip currently residing now? After obviously you guys know that something is has been happening, not only my establishment but also to the Lucky Diner. And I know this is not a coincidence, you just happened to show up.
You notice that she has stayed looking down throughout your whole conversation, like she is still trying to figure out if she's on the need to know list.
I pass my hand underneath her in her vision.
She snaps up and she's like, oh, and she immediately takes 2 steps back away from you. I'm sorry, what were you saying? Something about Tulip?
Yeah, you obviously you and Tulip both know that my you know my establishment being hit, this bar being hit, as well as the diner that was hit earlier, is not a coincidence,
No.
considering that this has been happening multiple times.
Yeah, Mustang warned us about this place. Mustang and Melvin both heard that they were going to be attacking this after the diner.
Let me ask you this, and I know that your head's not probably into this at the moment, but I'm just curious. Have you ever heard group, only way I can describe it, as mercenaries that have no rank, not part of the police system here, um, just coming in with flamethrowers and the like? You must have heard this, whether you're on that need to know list or not. This must have been happening on more than one occasion. Am I wrong there, Leslie?
You see immediately her head starts to drop down again. And you just hear her start to mumble, "Oh, there has to be a need to know list. How many people are on the list? Am I on the list? Should I be adding people to the list?"
Look at me. Look at me. Focus. Focus.
She snaps back up, and again she takes another 2 steps back. I'm sorry, you were saying
Okay.
about the need to know list?
Actually, what I was wanting to find out is I want to go ahead and talk to Tulip. If there's any way that you can give her a notice from me, saying that she needs to rouse up some courage of her own and speak with me in person.
Okay, I can talk to her. I'll call her. Where do you want to meet with her?
That is a good question. And
It's like,
I look back at Andreas. Where should we have her meet us?
let's see. Are there any establishments I got the free souls hanging out at that haven't been burned down at this point?
Yeah, you've got the Vagabond, and you've got the Albatross.
I want to bring it. Let's use the Albatross. I want to bring him. I don't want to bring anyone to the Vagabond just yet.
Okay.
Yep.
Just
Have her.
we're running out of places to drink. So
Yeah, have her come out to. Have her meet us over at the Albatross.
Okay. Sure. Um.
And before you go, just want to let you know, you're on my need to know list, if any.
What does that mean?
And you have a good night.
Will.
Yep.
I
Yeah,
just wanted her brain to explode a little bit. That's
yeah,
just it.
that's okay. Do we know what clan Leslie is?
You do not.
Okay, so that's fine. I got a theory.
That it's a demon? A dancing demon? No, something
Demon.
isn't right
Yeah.
there.
But
Right.
anyway, yeah. So okay.
Um.
So I'm I'll just watching that exchange with a little bit of amusement, but
Yeah. And she kind of sits there for a moment. And then you see her just mumbling something to herself, and she spins around, complete 360, and then turns towards the door and walks out.
I have a feeling that one's a little bit of the moon blood in her.
Your
No,
guess is as good as mine.
just saying that sort of thing usually happens with Malkavians, so especially with the odd reaction and not knowing what the hell you're talking about right after she was talking about it.
Makes sense.
Yeah. On the upside, good sources of insight sometimes.
So the Albatross. I've never been there. Where is this place located?
Good, yeah, I give them a location and whatnot. It's just the other possibility would be the Vagabond, but too many of my gang likes to hang out there, so
Yeah.
I don't want to make that place a target, especially if it's somewhere my people are at regularly.
Yeah. I have not added him. Just a quick correction. The Vagabond is owned by Richard Stephen Thompson, not Marcus Bradley.
Oh,
Okay. Second.
Marcus Bradley owns the Albatross.
okay.
Marcus Bradley.
Yeah. So the information you would have gotten about him adding Lillian Buchanan to the list of owners is in reference to the Albatross bar, not the
Okay, not the
Vagabond.
Vagabond.
Yeah.
Okay. That was we'll still allow the meeting for the Albatross though.
Yeah. Yeah. Because Andreas knows Richard Stephen Thompson owns the Vagabond because you've talked to him there.
Yeah.
He's a Tremere that gave you the coin to help find Andrew Gibbons.
Yeah, and not, personally, I don't really need to I don't need to run into any of the Tremere right now, just in case one of them happen to be like, "Hey, did you see this weird gold and silver box?" I'm like, the one where I'm, you know,
Yeah.
I mean, I'd be like, "Yeah, that's the one where I'm stashing my weed." It's
Yeah. What do you want to know?
yeah. I put Christmas lights on the inside of it. I set it up. It's decorative for the holidays. There's
Yeah.
those funky ass bones in there, but we made a skeleton for the front lawn for Halloween.
Mm-hmm. It's quite comfortable in there. You know?
Then this German guy started yelling at me.
Yeah. Talking about the color black. Like what?
Yeah, man.
But yeah, what do you guys want to do? You gonna head over to the Albatross immediately, or
What time is it right now?
at this point, once the fire department leaves and your investigation has come to a conclusion, as far as the last call is concerned, it's just barely after 11.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
it,
too early to call back making. So yeah,
yeah, well,
I'm good with just heading out.
yeah, well, if you want to head out, obviously, if you need to get a bite to eat, then probably now would be the time.
Okay. Um, I walked back to the outside. I wanted to see if Ted. No, let me just go out to the front. Is it busy today as
No,
far as
th-
walking traffic at night?
not walking traffic. No, there's a couple of cars that you see them slow down. Looking inside of them, you can see some of the familiar faces, like the patrons that you've seen there. And after they see what's happened, there's a kind of sadness, and they start to drive away. Um, but you notice that Leslie is still across the street in her car. Her hands are on the steering wheel at 10 and 2, and she just kind of looks like her head is tilted back. Mouth is agape, eyes wide open.
Uh, um, idea, Andreas. Is there anybody by any chance that could hail this car,
I can what?
follow this car when it eventually moves?
Shepard's with you.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, yeah, we have Shepard do it.
Maybe because this would probably be the best idea. Find out where she's going. That would help us then in turn find out where Tulip is. So I can get down to the bottom of this in case she doesn't happen to come back.
Okay, that actually sounds like an idea. All right, so I'll give the instructions to Shepard. Follow her. You're obviously not too close. You don't need to find any. Just give us locations and be able to report back later.
Correct. Yeah, I don't wait, this is nothing more than just reconnaissance.
He nods. I understand. I keep my distance.
Appreciate it.
All right. Yeah, I mean, and without further ado, we should be on our way then, I guess.
Mhm.
Okay, where are you heading?
You're gonna go hunting.
Around here, that's the thing. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, let me go ahead and I'm just gonna start looking. So, I start, I go through the alleyway, that's about across the street from the bar,
Yep.
and I'm trying to see if I see any buddy passing, anybody walking through.
So you're gonna go hunting. Is Andreas gonna help him hunt?
Yeah, might as well. I mean, I'm not hungry right now, but I saw what happened last time with the stigmata and whatnot.
Mm.
So
Okay. So
I'm assuming I'm assuming my man was losing blood, even if I don't know all the details.
yeah. So as the two of you kind of get this game plan to get your hunger under control, to meet up at the Albatross with Tulip, hopefully before the end of the evening, and to figure out where Sheriff Green is, this is where we're going to call it for tonight.
Ah, okay. It's a lot of buildup.
A lot of build-up. So I'd like to thank you all for joining us. As always, Mondays, as you know, are our split storyline between the Camarilla chapter of Salem by Night and the Anarch chapter, which we just got to see a little bit more of tonight. Tomorrow, we will be starting our new scheduled series of events. We have a werewolf game set in the Wild West that's alternating with the second season of our Legend of the Five Rings game. And on Friday, this is the last week of Star Wars as a Friday event. It will now be sharing its time slot and its day with a Dungeons and Dragons game called In the Eye of the Storm, which you might see a familiar face pop back up there. As always, please continue to wear your mask, continue to keep your distance, continue to wash your hands. And if you haven't gotten vaccinated, please get yourself vaccinated. Also, be aware that mental health should not be stigmatized or kept as a taboo subject. If you feel like you need help, please get yourself some help. It's okay to not be okay. And if you find yourself needing help in the United States and you feel like you don't have an outlet, and you're watching live, there are some phone numbers going up in the Twitch chat right now. If you are outside the United States and you feel like you need to find yourself some help, there's a link going up so you can find the resources in your area to help you get that help. As always, please take care of yourselves, take care of each other. Please continue to look out for one another, and I will see you tomorrow or on Friday, or even if you're just here for Vampire, we'll see you next Monday. Take care and have a good night.